Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. My name is Saurabh Bharti. I'm a Microsoft Dynamics 365 professional. This is my YouTube channel and welcome to the new video on this channel. Today we are going to talk about one of the important topic in Microsoft Dynamics, which is the data templates, and we are going to talk about it how we can utilize these data templates which we have out of the box in our implementation projects. Now, if you talk about the data templates first, what it is. So data templates are the combination or the collection of the different data entities which we have as part of the data management. And we can utilize this group of data entities in one of as data templates. And we can also set up the sequence of these data entities and also the dependencies among the data entities which we have in the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. In today's block, what we are going to do is that we are going to understand the standard data templates which we have, and also we are going to we are going to explore one use case where, let's say, we have one environment. Okay, from there we want to migrate the configuration from to the other environment. So how that is going to work, or let's say we have the configuration in one legal entity and we want to migrate to another legal entity. So how that configuration migration is going to happen using the data template. So that is what we are going to explore today. So without further delay, let's log into Microsoft Dynamics 365 and understand our use case and the data templates. So what we need to do is that we can log into the data management here. And on this data management workspace, you will find one of the tile which is templates. Now, if you are logged into the data management workspace for the first time, you might not see all these templates available for you. So what we can do is that we have the option here, load default templates in the system. Now we have a lot of default templates available in Microsoft Dynamics 365 out of the box, and we can utilize them. So what you can do is that you can select whatever is required and then load the selected one only, or you can load everything what is available in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Once you load everything, what you are going to get is that all the data templates are going to be reflected here. And if you see this, these data templates are grouped by the different module, first thing. And the second thing which you will see here, that it has also got the sequencing. Now why sequencing is required? Let's understand from one of the simple example. Let's say if I have to create the vendor master in the accounts payable, I cannot create the vendor master without having the vendor groups in the system, right? Similarly, you also have the dependencies among the modules. So I cannot configure the journal ledger if I do not have my basic system configuration in place. Okay, which means we need to prioritize and we need to sequence the list of data entities and the data templates configuration in the system so that we can import using the dependencies and we can eliminate those dependencies among all the data entities across different modules. Now, one of the thing, if you observe, like if we select one data templates about, let's say I will select the journal ledger here. Now it is going to show me all the data entities what we have in journal ledger module. Okay. And another thing is that within this also, you also have got the different sequencing of the sequence ID of these data entities, that how these data entities are going to be, let's say if you are going to import them, then in which sequence these data entities within this data template are going to be imported. Apart from that, you also have got a specific categorization of these data entities, For example, if you see all these data entities have the category like what are the master data entities, what are the parameters data entities, what are the reference or what are the configuration data entities, right? So you have got the categorization available on your on your data templates. So for example, if you have a data template and you which has the different categories, master, transactions, the configurations, parameters and everything, and you just want to migrate only configuration or the parameters, right, or the transaction or the master data, right? So you can choose that what type of categories of the data entities you want to use. So it can help you in filtering your type of data entities which you have within the data templates. You also have another thing here is that where you can see that if you select any of the data entities or the temp within the template, you can see the template details available here, which will show you like what is the source of those data entities, right? If you have any dependencies on those data entities, that is also going to be displayed here. Now in this blog, I'm not going to talk about how do you create the new data templates or how do you utilize them, right? What we are going to do in this blog is that we are going to use the standard data entities with the standard sequencing which is available out of the box, and try to migrate the configuration from, let's say, from the USMF legal entity to any other legal entity in our system, or this can be done for the one environment to the another environment. Okay, now once we have these data templates loaded here, once we know that all the data templates are available which we are going to migrate, okay, we can move to the data management workspace. Now before you load the initial template, you also need to make sure one of the thing, like if it is a new environment for you, then you can go to the framework parameter and make sure your list of data entities what you have in the system are up to date. So it is quite possible that if you do not have all the data entities available, then the default templates which you will load will not have all the data entities mapped together. Okay, so it is very important for us to refresh the data entity list, and if it is refreshed, it is already there, then you can directly use those data templates in the system. Okay, now what we are going to do is that I will take one example, that let's say we want to migrate all the configuration for, let's say, system parameters, journal ledgers, accounts payable, and cash and bank, let's say a couple of modules, or you can choose all the modules, and we want to migrate this configuration from USMF to the another legal entity. Okay, now I don't have the environment, that is why I'm not considering the environment movement, but similarly you can do the environment movement configuration movement as well, but right now we will use the USMF to the new legal entity. Now for that purpose, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new legal entity in the system, so that we can utilize or we can see that what has been imported in our new legal entity from USMF. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will go to organization admin, and I'm going to create a new legal entity for us. So I'll create a new legal entity here, and I'll give the name as, let's say, dynamics class, and let's say it is TC01, and let's say the reason is USA. Okay, and I have created this legal entity. Now let's understand that how we can import all the configurations which we have in USMF to the Dynamics class legal entity which we have just now created. So for that, what we need to do first is that we need to export the configuration from USMF, and then import those configuration using the data templates in Dynamics class legal entity which we have created. So how do you export? So you have the data management workspace here. You go to export here, and you can give the name of the uh, project here. So let's say I will say DC export, Dynamics class export, and I give the description, And I'm going to generate all these templates as a data package, not the Excel spreadsheet. So I will enable that generate data packages. Now here you have the option or multiple option. You can add the entity. So we are not going to do the entity level. We are going to do the one level up, which is our data templates. We are going to import multiple data entities for a specific module. You also have an option of add multiple. This option allows you to filter different types of the data packages or the entities which you have. So let's say if you just want to import accounts payable, it is going to filter all the data entities related to that module. Or if you want to see, like in the accounts payable, I want to see only the configuration, so it is going to filter those things. So I'm not going to use this option as of now. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the add template option here, and I'm going to use this copy from template. Now, one of the importance of the sequencing is here. Now, if I have my sequencing defined in the system properly, then I can understand that which sequence I need to select first, and then and so on. Okay, so that is very important for us to define at the data templates level. For a default template, you need not to do this. Now what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to select a couple of data templates here. So system setup, journal ledger, and accounts payable. I'm going to select all these data templates here. Okay, so let's say I will select this one by one and I click on OK. It is going to populate all the data entities from this data templates. So it has imported all the data entities related to the system templates. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select the other templates as well. So I'm going to select, let's say, GL shared in the same format, and I'm going to repeat this for the other template like GL and cash in bank in the accounts payable as well. So now once I select all the data templates which I need, right, and which I have in my default templates, okay, so I can see that all the sequence are updated here from journal ledger, from accounts payable, and everything. So if I scroll down, all the data templates are available here, the vendor groups and everything. Okay, so it is important for us to identify that what data templates we need to migrate. Okay, that is very important for us to identify first. Now once this is done, what we need to do is that we need to export this data package, and we can use multiple options here. We can use export now, export in batch. I would suggest when we are doing this, we should use the export in batch process, because this is a huge number of the data entities which we have, and it is also going to have the data along with that. Okay, so I can just use the export in batch option. Another thing which you want to do here is that if you, let's say, if you want to exclude some data entities, which is type of transactions or anything else, right, you can just try excluding them from this particular list of the data entities. Okay, so once you do this, you need to hit the export in batch basically, because it is going to take time. And once it is exported, we are going to download the data package. So for now, I have just hit the export now option. Just want to see this on a screen, and let's wait until this has been exported. Okay, so now we have our all the data templates, data entities have been exported, and we can see the status here. It is showing as partially succeeded here. If you want to see, like, there is one data entity which is having the partial succeeded financial dimension, this might be possible because of some error. Now this we can, if you want to see the error, we can go to the staging area and see, look for that what exactly we have in the error message. But for now, the idea is just to export this data package and import into the another legal entity or the another environment with the same legal entity. Okay. Another important thing, if you see that you can also see the child entities available here, which are the dependent entities which you have against the data entities which you have exported here. Now to export this from this particular legal entity, what you need to do is that you need not to use the download file which we typically do for our Excel export. what we need to do is that we need to export this as a package. So we click on the download package and we are going to download this as a package here. So it is going to be downloaded for us. Okay. Now once this is downloaded, what we need to do is that we need to go to the new legal entity which we have DC01, which we have created. Now here we are going to create an import project, and we are going to import that data package which we have downloaded from the USMF data entity. So let's say we see it like DC import, and we are going to copy same as the description here, save. Now here we have an option of add file. Now in the source data format, what we are going to select is the package. So we select this, and then we are going to browse that package which we have here. And this is going to populate all the data entities which we have exported from the USMF legal entity. And if it was the same legal entity, it would have been in a different environment where we are importing this data. So now this all the data entities have been imported in our DC01. Now what we can do is that we can use the normal process of import now, import in batch. Since we have a lot of data entities here, my recommendation will be to import the data in the batch process, not directly on the screen. So I'm going to hit the import option here, and we'll see that how it is going to look once it is imported in our DC01 legal entity. So what I did is like it was taking a lot of time for importing all the data templates. I should have taken sample data templates for this demo purpose. So what I did is that I removed certain system templates and other things because we are moving into the same environment, and I just kept it for accounts payable and the journal ledger, and now I'm moving those templates using this import process. Parallelly, we can also see this in the data management, like how it is moving. So I can see like date interval has been imported successfully, or the default description. And another thing which you will observe here is that it is not only importing the record, but it is also checking, and if it is already there, it is just doing the update to that. So it's not like creating the data from the scratch. It is also updating the required data which is already exists in that legal entity or the environments. So now we'll just wait for this to get imported successfully, and then we'll see that in our blank new legal entity which we have, there must be some data sets which are created using these data templates. Okay, after waiting for so long, now this has been imported. Now there have been some data entities been successful, some have been failed. But the important thing here is that we need to see that it is wherever it is required, it has created the records. Wherever it is required, it has updated the records. Now let's move on to the DC01, and let's try to see the couple of data entities which have been imported in the system. So if I want to see, let's say under the accounts payable, because we selected that, let's say the terms of payment, yes, it has been copied as it is, like how it was in the USMF. Payment schedule has been copied. If I go and see the vendor groups, so vendor groups should be there. So vendor groups are there. We can go to the text module, and there was sales tax group entity selected. So all the sales tax group has been copied. If I want to go and see in journal ledger, I think there was some data entity for ledger allocation basis rule. It should be created. So all these the data sets what we had in the other legal entity and which we wanted to copy here, right, has been copied successfully using these data packages which we have imported in this particular legal entity. So the most important takeaway from here is that if you want to copy your data from one legal entity or one environment to another legal entity or another environment, you can use these data templates. You can create your own templates, okay, and move your configuration from one place to another place. Now, someone might come up and say that I can copy you, if I want to copy from one legal entity to another legal entity, I can use the copy data entity option as well. Yes, you can do that, and it's just another way of using the data packages. So I think that's it for today's blog. We are going to stop here. Now I'll be talking more about this data templates, that how do you create your own template and what are the different attributes we need to map, what are the other key things which we need to consider when we are talking about these data templates in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Okay, so that's it for today's blog. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I would request you to like, share, and subscribe. And that concludes today's video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.